Is that the main? That's the main camera, or
nah? I think you exit out of the screen.
Nah, he need to exit out of it. Go to the left,
right
there. Tab on that. Them your cameras right there.
Yeah, that's the ones you mess with.
Yeah, with that. Y'all should get it wrapped up. All right, everybody. Here on our second segment of the Bible in Plain View. As always, it's definitely a pleasure to give with you on this Word of God. Our brother Nate did an excellent class showing you the color of Israel and that Israel is a black people. The people of the Bible are black people. It was a statement that he made. You know, all Israelites are blacks, but not all blacks are Israel. You know, you got Ham. You know, they're a dark race of people. Even some of the Indians are a dark race of people, but they're not necessarily Israel. Same with the Gentile. All Gentiles are whites, but not all whites are Italian. Some, you know, some whites are Dutch and French, you know, so it shouldn't be so great type of mystery with that, you know, that Israel is a black people. The people of the Bible are black. These people had locks. You know, they're Israelites. That's who they are, and they black. So what we're going to do now in our second segment is we're going to discuss the importance of, you know, what's the importance of Israel being identified as a black people? Well, Israel is the true church of Christ, and that's the title of our class today. And when we say Israel is the true church of Christ, we're saying that, look, we know that the Roman Catholic Church is out here, the Islamic faith is out here, the Buddhists, Taoism, all these other things. But Israel and what God gave these people, it is the only thing, the only truth that's out there. So we're going to go ahead and pick this up in Romans chapter 9 to start this off at, and we're going to start in Romans chapter 9, verse 4. And again, today's class, in our second part of the Bible in Plain View, and we definitely appreciate you joining us here. I know we got a Super Bowl Sunday as we watch our Gladiators get out there. So, but you ain't missing nothing but a couple commercials right now in the national anthem. But to get this word of God is far more important. So we're going to pick this up, Romans chapter 9, and we're going to start this off with verse 4 through 10. When you get there, go ahead and read it.
Who are Israelites?
So that's a good question. Who are Israelites? Now we're going to get to answering that question. Go ahead.
To whom pertaineth the adoption?
So one thing we got with Israel is they were the adopted people. And when we say the adopted people, we're talking about the people that God has adopted and declared to be his son. Israel is as a nation. Go ahead.
And the glory.
And
the covenant.
Right.
And the giving of the law.
That's right.
And the service of God. And the promise.
That's good. So right there it's saying, look, Israelites, they got the covenants, they got the giving of the law and the service of God. Brothers and sisters, that make you a church. So he said, who are Israelites? The giving of the law and the services of God. Now we're going to go over to chapter 11 real quick. Romans chapter 11. Because a lot of people like to say, oh, well, you know, Israelites, hey, that's Old Testament stuff. You know, God did away with those people. You know, now we in the new dispensation and we are under the Gentile. You know, the Lord has accepted the Gentile into the brothers and sisters. That's wrong. I'm sorry. You know, we're going to find out by the end of this class that the same people at the beginning is the same people at the end. But we're going to watch this verse here that Paul shows us in Romans chapter 11. When you get there, verse 1, go ahead and read.
I say then, hath God cast away his people? God forbid.
See, that's simple. Has God cast away his people? God forbid. God did not throw away the children of Israel. All right, that's one of the great mysteries of the Bible. But go ahead.
For I also am an Israelite.
This Paul talking. Now, he went out and taught the Gentile. That's what his job was. He was commissioned to teach the Gentile. And he said he was an Israelite. Go ahead.
Of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
So he broke it all the way down. I wish I could do it like that. You know, I wish I could tell you, yeah, I'm from the seed of Abraham or the tribe of Judah. That would be beautiful. But right now, the Lord put a thing on the children of Israel as a punishment where we don't know nothing. We just now be, you know, that sermon, the dry bones in the valley. That's us. We the dry bones in the valley, and the Lord is waking us up right now, pouring his spirit on us. And as much as we get right now is to know that we are the children of Israel. And the Lord said he has not done away with this people. Let's skip down to verse 5 and read a little more. Go ahead.
Even so then, at this present time, also there is a remnant according to the election of grace.
So notice what he said. He said, but there is a remnant according to the election of grace. Why is it a remnant according to the election of grace? Because there's a job that has to be done by this people. You see, when we read in Romans 9, he said the service of God and the giving of the law was given to the children of Israel. All right. So let's go over to verse 7 and read some more.
What then? Israel hath not attained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blind.
So he said, because basically what he's getting at here is not everybody that's in the fold of Israel is really Israel. He's saying, but the election, they have obtained what they were seeking for, which is basically to be the church of God. All right, but let's skip down to verse 11.
I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall?
Now, Israel did stumble, brothers and sisters. We dropped the ball. He said, well, did they stumble that we should fall? Go ahead.
God forbid.
He said, well, no, not that it's over with, God forbid, but
rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, or to provoke them of jealousy.
so he said, nah, they got a shot. He said, because really Israel was being selfish with this thing. When you look at Acts chapter 10, you find out that it was a law inside Israel that we didn't even want to talk to nobody of another nation. All right, let's keep going. What we got? Verse 11, 12. Go ahead.
Now, if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them riches of the Gentiles,
that's right.
How much more their fullness?
So he said, how much more when they come back? If the fall of the children of Israel allowed the rest of the world to be able to get what thus saith the Lord now, then how much more will the fullness when Israel come back? Well, when Israel come back, that's because the Lord is going to establish a kingdom on this earth with Israel still maintaining their job. Let's skip down to, go ahead and read verse 13.
For I speak to you, Gentiles, inasmuch as I am the apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify mine.
See, remember, we read in Romans 9 that the services of God was given to Israel, and Paul told you he was an Israelite of the tribe of Benjamin. Now we see here, he says that he has an office that he is to preach to the Gentile. He magnifies this office, right? But let's skip on over here to verse 15.
For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world,
if the casting away of the children of Israel reconciles the rest of the world, go ahead.
What shall the receiving of them be? But life from the dead.
When Israel comes, it's going to be life from the dead. That's what we're here trying to do, brothers and sisters. We're trying to wake up Israel. We're trying to show you that, look, you are the people of this Bible. Like Jesse Jackson used to say, I am somebody. You are somebody. You Samson. You Ezekiel. You David. You all these people of the Bible. That's you. But you have a job to do, which is to go out here and preach what thus saith the Lord. But you got to learn it first. And that's what we're here to do. Go ahead. Let's read some more.
16. For if the first fruit be holy,
go ahead.
The lump is also holy. And if the root be holy, so are the branches.
So he's saying, look, if everything be holy, Brother DeMarcus, you get a little quiet for me, please. We are loud, brothers and sisters, so we got a house full, so sometimes we get a little loud on us. So he's saying, for if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy. Talking about the children of Israel. And if the root be holy, so are the branches. So everything that comes from this shall be holy. All right, go ahead.
And if some of the branches be broken off.
Right, some of the children of Israel have been broken off, but why though? Go ahead.
And thou, being a wild olive tree.
Talking to the Gentile, you being a wild olive tree.
Were grafted in among them, and with them partakers of the root and fatness of the olive tree.
Go ahead.
Boast not against the branch.
So he's saying, don't you talk against Israel just because you done got able to come into this fold of Israel. But go ahead, keep reading.
But if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee.
Now let's go over to Matthew chapter 28, because I want to show you something that Jesus said before he left the scene. And this is the job. And then we're going to go over to the Old Testament, because if you know Jediah, I don't do nothing without the law and the testimony. We're going to definitely look in this. I jumped all around and looked at the wrong paper and started off of that one. I should be working off of that one. That's all good. But we still going to go on to Matthew 28. And we're going to see here what was supposed to be done here. Matthew 28. When you get there, pick it up in verse 18.
And Jesus came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. Go ye therefore and teach all nations.
So this is what Jesus told the children of Israel to do. Go teach all nations. Go ahead.
Baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost.
Now, the apostles, they was Israelites. So he told these Israelites to go out and teach the whole world. That's how the Gentile was able to get in. Peter, one of the apostles, was the first apostle to teach the whole world. All right. So now we're going to take this over here to Psalms 147. We're going to try to get back on course here. I done picked up the wrong piece of paper. Psalms 147. Psalms 147. We're going to look at one verse here. Because some people might try to say, well, you know, why? I mean, what big deal is this really about? Like, what make this so important that we know Israel? Like, What's the relevance to all this? Well, I'm gonna show you right here in this verse, Psalms 147. And when you get to verse 19, go ahead and read that.
He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
So he said he showed his word to Jacob. And this is what you need. You need the word of God and his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. What verse 20 say though?
He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as far as his judgments, they have not known.
He
them.
said he didn't deal with no other nation on this level. So that means that the Ishmaelite and the Arab, while they're doing their religious holy wars and stuff, it's not for God. God didn't come to them with that. Okay, so let's go over here now to Exodus chapter 19. Exodus chapter 19, because we're going to see the commission. And this is where the church started. Again, Israel, the true church of Christ. So Exodus 19 is where the church started. We're going to see it here. Exodus 19, and pick this up to verse 5. And when you get there, go ahead.
Now, therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed.
So he's talking to the children of Israel. This is after Israel came up out of Egypt. And, you know, when they came up out of Egypt, they came as a great nation of people. And then they came down to Mount Sinai. So he's saying, ye have seen what I did to the Egyptians, how I bear you out on eagle's wings, and how I brought you unto myself. Verse 5.
And keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me.
So he's telling the children of Israel, if you keep my covenant, then you're going to be a peculiar treasure unto me. Go ahead.
Above all people. For all the earth is mine.
So he's saying the whole earth belongs to the Lord anyway. But watch this rest of this verse. Go ahead.
And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests.
And he said, but you're going to be a kingdom of priests. Go ahead.
And in holiness.
So he talking to this particular nation. He didn't deal with nobody else. And he said, you will be a kingdom of priests, a holy nation. Go ahead.
These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
All right, now I said the church started there. Let's go over to Acts chapter 7 real fast. I'm going to show you this church started right there in the wilderness at that time. You can grab that chair if you want to. Acts chapter 7. Acts chapter 7, we're going to read one verse here. I'm trying to put it back together. See, I had we're into the wrong piece of paper. We on this one. Acts chapter 7, we're going to look at this one verse, verse 38. So when you get there, go ahead and read.
This is he in the church.
Talking about Moses. You read 37, it says, this is that Moses which says unto the children of Israel, prophet should the Lord God raise. Everybody know about Moses. They make, like we talking earlier, Charles Heston played Moses on TV. That's where, if you don't know nothing else, you know that bit. And you know the children of Israelites were slaves down in Egypt, and then they crossed the Red Sea, and God split open the Red Sea. If you don't know nothing else, you know that much. Well, he said that this Moses, this is he that was in the church in the wilderness. Go ahead.
With the angel which spake to him in the Mount Sinai. And with our fathers who received the lively oracles to give unto us.
Lively oracles or lively law. Backing up again what we've been reading when we read in Romans 9, when he said, I gave them the service of God and I gave them the law. And he said this was the lively oracle that he gave the church in the wilderness, not the church that started in Acts chapter 7 on Pentecost. They built the whole Pentecostal church based off of, Acts chapter 2. They based the whole church off of that. But the church had already been established. It was established back then when the Lord gave the 10 commandments. Well, you say, well, Brother Jediah, they was back there doing sacrifices and all whatnot. Yep, you're absolutely right. They sure was. That was in the commandments, still in the commandments. And actually, at some point, as we're going to see, that stuff will come back because that's still the church. But right now, we want to use the word dispensation. We're under the dispensation of Jesus now. Jesus was our Passover. So we ain't killing no lambs now. But that's you know, again, we ain't got that much time. We got about 15 more minutes on this. So I can't get into all the intricacies right now, but just keep listening. We're going to teach you. But let's go on over here to Psalm chapter 78 now. Psalm 78, and pick this up in verse 1. And when you get there, go ahead and read.
Give ear, O my people, to my law.
So now he's talking to the children of Israel. He said, give ear to my law. Go ahead.
Incline your ear to the words of my mouth.
See, this is what your doctrine is supposed to be. According to Proverbs chapter 4, he tell you, I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. So he's saying here, you know, give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. What are you going to do? Go ahead.
I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old.
Go ahead.
Which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us. We will not hide them from their children, showing to the generation to come the praises of the Lord.
So he's talking to the children of Israel. He didn't deal with no other nation like this. He didn't take the Englishman and say, okay, well, while y'all up here playing Vikings, you know, up here in this land, a guy gonna come or an angel gonna come. Now, none of that happened. It's the reason why this Bible still here in existence and people still got it relevant to this day. It's a reason for that. All right, but go ahead and read a little more.
Showing to the generation to come the praises of the Lord and his strength and his wonderful works that he hath done. For he established a testimony in Jacob.
So he's saying, well, the Lord established a testimony in Jacob. So you know how they say, well, you know, we under that New Testament and, you know, all that. Well, look where it's been established. It's still established in Jacob, or which is Israel. Go ahead. Middle 5, you good.
All right. And appointed a law in Israel.
So he appointed a law in Israel. Go ahead.
Which he commanded our fathers that they should make them known to their children.
For how long?
That the generation to come might know them. Even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children.
Right. So he said, look, we're gonna keep this thing going, brothers and sisters. Israel is still relevant to this day. Let's go over here to Jeremiah chapter 3, because as many people know, they talk about the Hebrews, and you know they want to call them Hebrews too when they act foolish. They talk about the Hebrews and how they ain't do right. You know, God had to destroy them. That's what people say. But watch what this says here in Jeremiah chapter 12. Go ahead, verse 12. Jeremiah chapter 3. I'm sorry, in verse 12. When you get there, go ahead.
Go and proclaim these words toward the north.
So he said, proclaim this to the countries of the north. Go ahead.
And say, return, thou backsliding Israel.
He said, return, backsliding Israel. So the Lord gonna bring Israel back. He telling them to return. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord.
And
I will not cause mine anger to fall upon you.
Go ahead.
For I am merciful, said the Lord, and I will not keep anger forever.
See, he said, I'm not gonna be pissed at you forever. See, yeah, Israel had blowed the mission. But he like, I'm not gonna stay mad at you for a lifetime. Go ahead, read a little more.
Only acknowledge thine iniquity.
He said, well, what we gotta do is acknowledge our iniquities. Go ahead.
That thou hast transgressed against the Lord thy God. And hast scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree.
Right.
And ye have not obeyed my voice, said the Lord.
What else?
Turn, O backsliding children.
Go ahead.
Said the Lord.
Go
on married unto you.
Oh, so this church is who the Lord is married to. All right, now we all recognize that the God's supposed to be married to his church. So he's saying, turn, O backsliding children, said the Lord, for I am married unto you. Go ahead.
And I will take you one of a city, and two of a family.
That's right.
And I will bring you to Zion.
He said, I'm going to bring you back now. And what I'm going to do when I do that? Go ahead.
And I will give you pastors.
He's talking to Israel, so I'm going to give you pastors. Yeah, that sounds like church to me. Go ahead.
According to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
And that's what's happening now. And that's what's going to happen when the Lord returns. He's going to give Israel pastors that's going to feed them with knowledge and understanding. Let's go over to Isaiah 50 real fast. And again, you know what we do here at the bottom of Plainview is we try to give you just a little bit so that you can get your start. But you got to read on your own. You got to work out your own salvation. We just here to guide you a little bit, and we touch on the subjects a little bit, and we try to present it to you. And then, if you want more, you know, you can get in touch with us. You can catch up with us on the Sabbath. We get into a lot more detail on all these subjects, even to the fact that in this month we'll be doing a couple of classes dealing with the whole scenario of Israel, what happened to them, and what color they are, so on and so forth. But at any rate, Isaiah chapter 50, picking up at verse 1. When you get there, go ahead.
Thus said the Lord. Where's the bill of your mother's divorce?
So we talking about a bride. He said, well, where's your mother's the bill of her divorcement? Because the Lord had put Israel away for a short time. And when we say put them away, throw them out of the land of Israel, put them into captivity. But remember, we read in Romans 11 that this was really served another purpose, because Israel got scattered to the whole world. So when he decides to wake Israel up, now he could preach to the whole world. This just won't be sitting in the land of Israel, because we selfish, y'all. We didn't want to give it to nobody. Go read Acts chapter 10. It said it was a lawful thing for us of the Israelites to keep company with anybody of another nation. We was the first people that was out here acting prejudiced or acting racist. The children of Israel was. Yeah, that's why the Lord said you reap what you sow. But go ahead, read a little more.
Whom I have put away. Or which of my creditors is it to whom I have sold you? Behold, for your iniquities have ye sold yourselves, and for your transgressions is your mother put away.
He said, you did this to yourself. Go ahead, read a little more.
Wherefore, when I came, was there no man? When I called, was there none to answer? Is my hand shortened at all, that it cannot redeem? Or have I no power to deliver?
So the Lord is going to gather the children of Israel back. But he said he put us in this situation where we out here in this captivity and be the bottom, because when he made this nation, we was on top of the game. He's like, he did this because of our iniquities. All right. So let's move over to Jeremiah chapter 3. Jeremiah chapter 3. We got two more after this. Jeremiah chapter 3. That's one book over. And we're going to look at a little more. And like I said, again, we dealing with Israel. And I'm just showing you right now that, you know, we in the situation we in now because of what we did. We didn't want to fulfill our obligation of the job of being priest to the whole world. So he put us in captivity. But he put us in captivity like we saw in Romans 11, so that would be great for the rest of the world, because now Israel all over the place. And as we wake up, we're going to tell our captives. When it's really all said and done, when we come back to the land, our captain's going to bring us back. That's a whole nother story. Jeremiah chapter 3, pick it up at verse 12.
Go and proclaim these words toward the north and say, Return, thou backsliding Israel, saith the Lord, and I will not cause mine anger to fall upon you.
Oh, we read this already. I'm sorry. Isaiah 54. I thought that sounded familiar. Isaiah 54. We got one more after this. Isaiah 54. Isaiah 54. And we're going to pick this up in verse 4. When you get there, go ahead and read.
Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded. For thou shalt not be put to shame. For thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth.
So he talking to Israel. He said, y'all gonna forget the shame of your youth, right? Go ahead.
And shalt not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore.
So he had divorced us. But he said, well, I'm not going, you're gonna forget the reproach of your widowhood. I'm gonna take you back. But go ahead.
For thy maker is thine husband.
He's talking to Israel. He said, your maker, God, is your husband. That's who you married to. Go ahead.
Lord of hosts is his name, and thy Redeemer of the Holy One of Israel.
Go ahead.
The God of the whole earth shall he be called.
Go ahead.
For the Lord hath called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth. And when thou wast refused, said thy God, for a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather.
He said, yeah, I forsake you, but it was just for a small moment. He said, but I'm gonna gather you back though. Go ahead.
In a little wrath, I hid my face from thee for a moment.
He said, in a little wrath, I hid my face from you for a moment, just for a short time, a day or two. Go ahead.
But with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, said the Lord thy Redeemer.
Go ahead.
For this is as the waters of Noah unto me.
He said, this is just like what I did to the rest of the world when I destroyed them in the days of Noah. This ain't nothing. That's what he's saying. Go ahead.
For as I have sworn that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth.
Right.
So have I sworn that I would not be wroth with thee, nor rebuke thee.
Go ahead.
For the mountains shall depart, and the hills be removed, but my kindness shall not depart from thee.
He talking to his people, Israel. Keep reading though.
Neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, said the Lord that had mercy on
me. And he made the covenants with the children of Israel again. Keep going.
O thou afflicted.
So, and we the afflicted. Go ahead.
Tossed with tempest.
And
not comfort.
He talking to this one group of people, the slaves. The children of Israel. Behold, go ahead.
I will lay thy stones with fair colors, and lay thy foundations with sapphire.
Go ahead.
And I will make thy windows of gates, and thy gates of carbuncles, and all thy borders of pleasant stone.
13.
And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord.
So and this is when he decides to gather the children of Israel back. He said, all your children will now be taught of the Lord. Because right now we got these false prophets out here. They ain't telling us nothing. Go ahead.
And great shall be the peace of thy children. In righteousness shalt thou be established. Thou shalt be far from oppression, for thou shalt not fear. And from terror, for it shall not come near thee.
Go ahead.
Behold, they shall surely gather together, but not by me. Whosoever shall gather together against thee shall fall for thy sake.
Okay, that's good. Let's go over to one more place before we go to our final scripture. Jeremiah 23. Because again, we're dealing with Israel, the true church of Christ. You know, I know they got the Church of Christ, a Latter-day Saints out here, and that's not the true Church of Christ. What they say happened over there in Utah, that's fool's gold. We don't read in the Bible that the only nation that has ever been dealt with by Jesus or by God is Israel. Verse 1, Jeremiah 23, verse 1. When you get there, go ahead and read.
Woe be unto the pastures that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture.
And that's what we're doing to Israel right now. We destroying this. The pastors are destroying Israel. Go ahead,
said the Lord. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock.
That's right.
And driven them away. And have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing, saith the Lord.
Go ahead.
And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries.
He said, I'm going to gather my flock out of all countries. Go ahead.
Whither I have driven them.
Uh-huh.
And will bring them again to their fold.
Go ahead.
And they shall be fruitful and increase.
Uh-huh.
And I will set up shepherds over them.
So the Lord said, I'm going to still set up shepherds over Israel. Go ahead.
Which shall feed them.
And they're going to finally feed them with the true word of God. Keep reading.
And they shall fear no more.
Uh-huh.
Nor be dismayed.
Go ahead.
Neither shall they be lacking, said the Lord.
Go ahead.
Behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch. When a king shall reign.
Jesus is that king. Go ahead.
And shall execute judgment and justice in the earth.
Right.
In his days, Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. And this is the name whereby he should be called, the Lord our righteous.
All right, let's go over to Revelation chapter 21. So we're going to go all the way to the end of the Bible. And we're going to still find that the Lord is dealing with Israel as his church. Revelation chapter 21. And we're going to start this off in verse 9. So when we get this whole new heaven and this new earth, when we get this whole new joint going on, it's still about Israel. This is the true church of God. This is the bride of Christ. And Israel, as we saw in our first segment, they are a black race of people. And their job is to go out here and teach the gospel. But in order for you to teach something, you got to learn something. Because you can't teach what you don't know. And that's what's been going on. We've been having the blind leading the blind. And that's why the children of Israel and the whole rest of the world is wrong. It's a church on every corner. Yeah, it's still, murder rates in some of these cities, 1 to 2 per day. That's a lot of people getting killed, y'all. Sometimes they get to the point where it be 3 a day. I've been in a city where they had 1,000 murders in a year. That's absurd. When one of the commandments say thou shalt not kill, mothers out here having babies with no fathers. But at the same time, the Bible said thou shalt not commit adultery. If these churches was really a true church that we got on every corner, this wouldn't be. All these things would be spoken against. But the true church has been hidden. It has been put away. It's been a little famine in the land. The Lord gonna bring it back. He waking up Israel now. And watch what he say is gonna be in the end day. Revelation 21:9. When you get there, go ahead.
And there came unto me one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials full of the 7 last plagues. And talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife.
Go ahead.
And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God.
So he's still dealing with Jerusalem. He's still dealing with the children of Israel. Because we're going to see some more. Keep reading. Verse 11.
Having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as a crystal.
Go ahead.
And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon.
So we talking about heaven, y'all. And when we get to heaven, guess what you going to see? Go ahead.
Which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
You still gonna see the children of all the way to the end, man. We started this Bible off with Adam. We took it over to Noah. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, Japheth. From Shem, who he told, I'm gonna be God unto you. Shem brought you over to Abraham. Abraham to Isaac to Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons. This is what the Bible is about: the 12 sons of Jacob and what their children did. And yeah, the Lord took them out like we saw in Exodus 19, and he gave them the commandments. And they were supposed to give this command, said, I'm going to make you a priest to the whole world. And that's what we were supposed to do. But we ain't going to do that. We dropped the ball on that. So the Lord said, I'm going to divorce this woman. I'm going to put her away. But guess what? I'm going to gather this woman back. And when I gather this woman back, when I gather this church, this people back, I'm going to give them pastors according to my heart and according to my will. And when it's all said and done, and when I put you in the kingdom of heaven, guess what you're going to see? You're going to see Gad, Issachar, Reuben, Judah, Levi, Simon, Dan, Naphtali, Zebulun, Joseph. You're going to see the names of the sons of Israel. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, I hope you learned something. And again, I thank you for joining us here at the Bible in Plain View. And we'll take you on over to our 3rd segment very short. Peace and Jesus. Appreciate that, bro. Man, praise the Lord. Bro. You up, man? Yeah, brother. Good morning. Oh yeah, no problem. Bathroom's right here. What it got to change my shirt. So I have the Georgia Bulldog shirt on. What it do, man? Stockers. Yeah, we're gonna pick you up on another one. Go to the right, all the way to the right. No, not all the way to the screen, to where you see the hit stop.